Greetings and welcome, one and all, to another episode of Siege of the Empire, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, where our party members are going to see if they can not die. I'm your host, Mankey Games. I'll be DMing. As usual, I'm sure that if you are listening to this isn't unfamiliar to you. Shout out to TwitchCon. That's going on right now that I'm not currently attending. Secondly, I'm going to mute that so we don't have to hear that all night. Fantastic. We're doing well. This is great. This is going great. I'm going to go ahead and unmute Discord, and we're going to find out what our players have been up to for the past week.
So both are completely legitimate.
I muted you, Will, so I can't hear you anymore. So basically, that means I'm right.
Fat Willy.
I can't fucking hear you. Are you talking? Please tell me you're talking.
So Megan?
Yes, hi.
Will and I'm currently at 7 hours, and I just bought Divinity today, so...
Yeah.
That's how much Jordan and I played the first day, too.
Yeah, you
my
guys
most
play
recent
forever.
achievement is Memory Motel, which is a pair of
What is
panties.
that? Genius.
By the way, I just want to let you know that just a random time this week, I'm going to get on that other games channel and demand that we do a playtest so we can get your panic attacks right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you can just do that at the same time.
I mean, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to, but we can do that this week, sure.
I want to nail that
really,
down.
you can just playtest it yourself.
I mean, that's true as well. Do you
Hello,
really
everyone.
need me there? Hello, hi, sorry.
I don't know how you play well enough.
I mean...
Jackson, I have a question for you.
Ah,
Do you just always have food in your general vicinity?
yeah.
Like, just
That is a
always,
good
like,
thing.
a bag of chips or something just in your immediate vicinity at all times?
There's a mega pack of beef jerky right behind me, in case I run out of pizza.
Man, that sounds like the life. Why can't I be you?
Scholarship money put to good use.
Oh, Jordan, thank you for getting FIP up, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. I've been really slacking on doing stuff like that recently for everything.
Good reason.
Every
Good
RPG.
reasons.
Yeah, no. The primary reason is work has been busy, and then when I'm not at work, I've been playing, like, Divinity. So,
I mean...
we're missing 2 people.
Dalton? Where's Dalton?
Well, here but away.
Missing Liam, too. That's okay, though. I don't care. There's still 4 of you. Maybe it'll actually be a session where we get stuff done.
Oh,
Oh, you're lucky he didn't hear that.
I mean, Liam helps with getting stuff done. Okay, guys.
Yeah, I think we're actually
Yeah.
It's true.
You get
No, you're
things
not.
done, so maybe
You're not incorrect.
rethink that statement.
You're
Ah!
not incorrect.
the bad pizza. That's as bad as ours. So good.
What?
Me, a papatrone. How about his?
Okay. So, Megan, how's your week been?
I'm pretty sure you know how my week has been.
But maybe people who don't love me enough and they only watch Siege don't know how your week has been. So,
I don't even watch Siege.
exactly.
True. I have literally spent all week going to work, coming home, playing Divinity, and other various RPGs. That's
Well,
it.
Sounds
That's
like a
been my whole week.
fantastic week.
Mostly Divinity, though.
Yep. That's...
This doesn't
Maybe.
sound bad.
Oh, I'm not complaining. There's no complaint in my voice.
No.
Except for last night. Last night was a bad choice, but that's okay.
That was not a bad decision at all, I don't think. Although I did sleep until like noon today, so I didn't.
Yeah. So 6 a.m. that felt like a bad choice.
Ow.
Yep. That felt like a bad choice. But anyway.
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna be putting enemies into the making character sheets and stuff.
What fun.
Yeah, it's lots of fun. Well, that sounds good. I feel your pain / pleasure at that week because it's pretty much been my week too. So, Brian, how have you been all week?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Been a good week. Been off since 12 o'clock on Tuesday. got some stuff done.
Well, that's good. Do you go back to work like tomorrow or something?
Yeah, I go back tomorrow at 8.
Well,
So, I'll probably be sleeping. I won't, but whatever. I can pretend like I will.
I will definitely be sleeping. Yes. What is this? What are these anime Doritos? Oh my god, why are they black?
I don't know, but they look so good.
Anime Doritos?
Anyway. Will,
Infinity's been...
are you feeling any better today, sir? You've been sick a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still very sick.
Yeah, we nearly killed you yesterday multiple times.
Yeah. So, cough medicine and alcohol is the best way to fix it, obviously.
Careful, you're starting to sound like Dalton.
Oh god.
Only drink for fun, like me.
No. So yeah, but today's been an absolute blast. Thank you, Brian.
Yay,
Blast.
come to the dark side.
Yeah, I feel sad that I cannot witness either of your your playthrough, because I want to know if the experience is similar to my own.
Let me just say, I have 18 fire arrows, and I am using them all the time.
Yeah, well, just hopefully there's no melee players in your party. Also, just be aware that poison clouds are apparently larger than they appear.
Way bigger.
They are apparently larger than they appear.
Yeah.
As some of us discovered last night.
I think after that point, I was actually broken for like almost 30 minutes of the stream. Like, I don't think I
Yeah.
spoke or said anything for like.
I think
No,
you were
was
just laughing
totally
the whole time.
broken.
So TPK or
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
It was
Hi.
just
Hi,
me.
Liam.
Hello, Liam.
So Liam, the big deal this week is I've been streaming literally every day, and me and Megan have been playing a co-op playthrough of Divinity, and it's possibly the funniest thing that has ever occurred in the universe. Actually, I think
that's a solid recommendation.
if you have a friend in which like you're not gonna just be assholes and run off and do things by yourself.
I might do that.
So not Jackson, right? Obviously. I strongly suggest spending the 30 to 45, however much you have to pay for it. It's totally worth it. One of the best games I've played in a very long time. There are multiple points throughout the game where me and Megan just can't do anything because we're literally laughing, tears streaming down our face so hard at everything that's going on.
It's quality content.
It is quality content. Here's how I described it the other day. It is literally the closest thing to actually playing a tabletop RPG in a video game format that I have ever encountered.
Fascinating.
Like, hands down. The game is super aware of itself, and super aware of like what's going on. Similar to like how Shadowrun kind of works too, where the Shadowrun game is pretty aware of itself and what's going on. Has a lot of different like really cool triggers and stuff for stuff going on. The multiple ways to solve things. For example, Megan and I did the murder quest completely backwards. We basically started at the end by knowing who it was, and then just working our way backwards until eventually we finally got to the point at which we did the thing we were supposed to do like within the first 10 minutes of the game, and everything clicks into place, and then we can move on. But the game like allowed us to do that, right? Like, it allowed us to pick who we didn't like and then like try and go through and figure out how that person did the murder. And Megan and I discovered that we are far better at side quests than we are at primary quests. Good example of something
At side
ridiculous
quest
that happened. Good example of something ridiculous that happened. So, we were in a graveyard, and we had dug up the like the murder suspect's body to like inspect it, and found out that it wasn't there, right? And so like, we had to do this whole thing and like go searching around. We're trying to figure out what the hell to do, And I'm like, I'm like walking around the graveyard. I'm like, I don't know what to do from here. And Megan's like, I'm just gonna dig up this grave. And we're level 3. And she digs up a grave, and a level 8 skeleton pops out.
Well, I mean, you're literally asking for it at that point.
So I'm freaking out. I charge in, and he just like one-shots me in the fucking head. And like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. We eventually beat him. It was a very close call. We got some lucky rolls, but holy crap, it was one of the funniest things.
And then the game made fun of me for rage digging.
Yes.
And I almost peed myself. I laughed so hard.
Yeah. Then there was literally a comment. Was it in like a note or a book or something?
No, you talked to me the second we beat him.
Oh,
we
right.
had to talk to each other, and you're like, "Wow, way to rage dig," and I was like, "Shut up." That was literally our interaction between their two characters.
So like the deal is because it's co-op. Each NPC interaction you have has a chance to spark a dual conversation where she can choose a selection and then I can choose a selection, and then if we disagree, there's like a mechanic for who wins the argument, right? It's like a version of rock paper scissors.
It's an adorable version of rock.
Yeah,
paper.
it's like rock paper scissors,
but
like you use stats to argue with, right? You use reasoning or charm or intimidate or whatever, and then if you have a really good stat in whatever the point that you're arguing is, it gives you a bonus in the rock paper scissors game of like giving you more points when you win, and then you each have to get to like 10, I think it is, or 12 or whatever. So yeah, it's pretty funny the way it all works out. But no, there was just so many moments of pure hilarity. Last night, Megan was in the poison cloud, and she thought she was on the outside of it, but she wasn't, so she ran along. She ran, like, laterally, but she was still inside of the poison cloud, so she took, like, 100 damage and died immediately.
And then immediately after, the other guy died. So both the people who are controlling just died within, like, 1 round.
Yeah, we just got melted, and I just had to reload the game because we fucking lost. It was pretty funny.
Spectacular.
Yeah, no, it's good time. It's a good time. But how's your week been, sir?
Me? Been alright, fairly average.
Good. Average weeks are okay, I think, in my book.
I'll take it.
Mine was not.
Yes, I saved you for last, sir. Tell us about your week, Jackson.
So I prepped a lot for my 5-hour game. Well, I think most of you guys probably know, but it culminated in me end up having to file a complaint to the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some
It's basically the
harassment stuff going on.
yeah.
What in the hell?
Well, basically what happened was that I was here Friday, so you guys don't know.
Yeah, you weren't here Friday, so nobody knows the whole story here.
So basically what happened was that there was this guy last week who I had to sit next to during statistics class, and our teacher left for like about 5-10 minutes, so of course I responded appropriately by reading manga on my phone. And this guy right next to me, a guy with green hair, leans over and goes, "What kind of manga are you reading?" I'm like, "Oh, it's about Journey." And he goes, I prefer adult manga." I go, "Oh, do you mean like Black Lagoon?" He goes, "No, I mean adult." Still was the case, like, hentai. And I'm like, okay. He goes, "I'm very lewd." I'm like, I guess you are. And then he says, "What year are you?" I go, "I'm a senior." And he says, "Yeah, I'm a senior too, but I'm actually staying an extra year." I don't mind though, because there's a lot of cute boys around. Then he looks around and he just stares at me. And like, "I prefer women." He just keeps on staring at me until I like move to another seat.
That is horrifying on pretty much every level, yeah.
Yeah, no, it gets worse.
Yeah, so the next time I go to class, he's like, "Hey, do you want to go hang out with this?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "It's not, I don't want to hang out with somebody whose basically way to introduce himself is to say I like porn." And he gets really mad and starts escalating, and he basically calls me a homophobe, because I guess that's why he thought I cared about. And then he called me again, something that even I was like, whoa, I'm not calling anybody that. Ever. And I will never say what he called me. And then he later showed up again. He said this time I was at the bio building. And I was at a urinal. And then he walks up right beside me and starts talking to me while...
He cut off, but yeah, we get the gist of it.
Yeah.
I could have sworn this story started with you talking about preparing for L5R. I feel like this
what the hell happened?
I
wasn't expecting.
Yeah, you know,
the stories are separate. Let me be clear: the stories are separate.
Yeah. Basically, I had a run-in with a very crazy individual that proceeded to follow me, I guess.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, and
so the cops are on that now.
Yeah, I filed a complaint with both the campus police, and then they also told me to go to the police station next door and make another complaint thing. To make it like official, like for the campus police, it's so that they keep an eye on them. For them, it's so that they have a record. And then basically, I was just told if he starts coming near you, starts harassing, just call you. He's gonna be gone. Because I don't know how it works exactly. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, that's totally sexual harassment, so he can totally get jail time for that.
Yeah, like
colleges are super strict on that. At least most of them I know. So.
Yeah, and also like what I did like. Here's the thing. He scared the shit out of me when he did that, but it was less like I was afraid for my life. Fuck! Why'd you talk into my ear so quickly while I was peeing? I felt vulnerable. I had my dick out and there was piss all over my pants.
Oh my god. Okay, that was like... We probably didn't need, like, all of that. But yes, we understand.
Yeah, I had to wait in the bathroom for like 20 minutes to dry off my pants.
Okay.
That was my week.
Okay. My week has been pretty good. Again, lots of Divinity. L5R was great yesterday. I'm not a dead samurai, so that's good.
Yet.
You got your ass saved by a 3-time thing.
I don't think that's actually true.
Oh, you fucker.
But yeah, no, it was pretty good. For you guys specifically, I got FIP up there. I haven't done the other two yet, although understandably they're slightly less important than those three. Those are kind of the three big ones. Not that I'm showing racial prejudice against, or racial judgment against dwarves or elves, but you understand. They apply to a lot of other parts of the story that you guys are not currently dealing with. But
I still call prejudice.
What? You still what? Oh, you still call prejudice? Yeah, a little bit.
Look, it's not halflings and lizardmen's fault that they're better than everyone else.
Exactly.
It's not. They are way better.
Exactly. So, mostly for Jackson's purposes, but also for everybody's reminder, let's recap what happened last week. So, the group of you decided that it probably was best if you got out of town for a little while. There was a lot of stuff going on, and even though your names were kind of cleared, it was made pretty obvious that like things were not going well, and removing yourselves from the situation was probably in the best interest of the entire party. So you discovered that there was kind of a lot of people in the same boat as you, not literally but figuratively, in the fact that there was a lot of people that were attempting to leave the city either via boat or via wagon or however they can. There was kind of an exodus going on. Because of that, you guys were kind of forced to hop on or basically rent a merchant ship instead of like a passenger boat. So it made the accommodations probably a little bit less luxurious, but it did make it a lot less crowded. Excuse me. Ooh. So, I must be allergic to bullshit. So, you guys hopped on a boat, and you began moving towards your original destination of the ruins that you were sent on, over 3 weeks ago to go investigate. And so, on your journey there, you were accosted by this strange like fog that had rolled in. Scared Chester, as most things normally do nowadays, and
Everything.
you guys were assaulted by a small little roving band of lizardmen. After fighting them off the boats and losing only one of the crew members, luckily, you guys were probably keeping watch for the rest of the night to make sure nobody came back. And in addition, like you guys had taken a few knocks, and most of the lizardmen had gotten away. I think you really only killed like 2 of them, right? Is that true? Yeah, you'd really only killed 2 of them.
Had I gotten the kill?
No, but you did.
No.
Jackson, what you did do, so you were, I'll bring everybody back to this screen so we can remember what happened.
Was that pushing off the boat?
Yeah, that's exactly what you did. You pushed one of the big guys off the boat and kind of basically removed him from the fight the whole time. And you guys were able to slaughter this priest individual or shaman or some type of spellcaster individual who was using like a lot of like cast a spell and hide, and ostensibly is probably the one who brought like the magical fog in, right? Like that's totally a thing. And then you killed one of these big guys right here on the in the water after I think somebody Vi, was it you that boiled the water, I think, and then Farron shot him with an arrow or something? Yeah, you boiled the water around him and shot him with an arrow. And so that's kind of where we ended for the night with we gave some last rites to Ullman, the oarsman. The captain did, at least. And the captain had taken quite a few injuries himself as well. And you guys had revived. I should take the X off of him because you healed him. You had saved... I was about to call him a name that is not his name. I know it is not his name because it is not the name that I gave to him. Oh. I just got your message, Megan. I think I just, for some reason, just dropped a fuckload of frames. It should be good now. Yeah, check it for me.
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna restart that real quick. Luckily, I'm just recording locally, so I can just stop the stream and just restart it, and the recording will continue going, and everybody on YouTube is gonna hear all this weird talking, and they're gonna be confused and stuff. How are we looking now? Let's refresh the dashboard. Yes, no, offline? What the hell? Curious. Why? Why is it offline? I don't understand. Doesn't matter. We're gonna keep going. I don't care. I'm recording it. It's fine. So you guys had beaten back the lizardmen, and they had kind of, after their, you guys noticed, like, after the leader died, they kind of dispersed post haste, without really giving up much of a fight after that. So after reviving, and that's what I was doing, I was going to pull up the actual name of this guy. I do have an actual name for this guy. Pretty sure I saved it. I know Olag was the captain and Ullman was the oarsman, and then the other oarsman was something with a C. Carter, that was his name. Carter was the one that you guys had saved. So, from this point, what would you guys do? Like, you guys can totally just like progress into the night, but is there any like immediate after effects of the battle that you guys want to do?
I would like to. Would I know if like where exactly are the dead lizardmen?
They're gently floating in the. They actually sunk to the bottom of the river, but yeah, they're floating in the river right here.
Can I retrieve one of them, namely the priest-looking one?
Yeah, sure. You can leap into the water and go retrieve a priest body. That's fine. But in addition, yeah, I actually didn't mention that. Did anyone level?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
What's the next threshold?
34.
I believe it's 34,000.
Oh, right. I'm like 2 sessions behind.
Brother! Me too.
Awesome. We can be low-level bros.
Perfect. Perfect.
Like I'm at 31,000.
Okay.
I'm at 33,800.
It's almost like Will can go fuck himself. So, Megan, being...
That feels so good.
I killed him. Oh my god, I killed
Oh
him.
no, don't make me laugh.
That feels so good to hear.
So, Vi, you leveled to level 8. So tell us what you've chosen, what you've gotten for your level, if there were any choices to be made, or anything like that.
Let's see. I got some ability score improvements. So I got a couple things fixed that were very bad for me.
Right, because you had bad stats, right?
My constitution and intelligence still sucks, but I fixed a few others, so that's good. What else? I got Divine Strike, which doesn't really matter for me because I don't use a weapon very often, but now if I do, it's got poison damage, which is sick. And then I got another 4th level spell, which I took Locate Creature.
Where that's like you're prepared, right? Because as a priest or as a cleric, you get all the spells. You just can prepare.
No, I know. No, that's the one that Yeah,
that's the one
that's
you're
the
going
one
to
that I took
prepare
for
most
today.
of the time. Got it.
Yep. And then, what else did I get? I don't think anything else, really. Wasn't that big of a level. I mean, obviously, another 4th level spell slot, so that's great.
Yeah, an additional 4th level spell slot, yeah. And you guys are, at level 8, we're starting to get into the realm of being really good at the game. And being able to, like, break things. Which is cool. It's awesome. So, I think, was Dalton the other one that leveled? I think Dalton did level as well. I'm just gonna check.
so.
I'm gonna check his character here real quick.
He's probably asleep.
Yeah, he probably is. I don't know, whatever. We'll be fine. Yeah, Dalton also leveled.
And I leveled.
You leveled as well?
Chester level.
I did.
Okay, Chester. Tell us what you got at level 8, sir.
Chester got Uncanny Dodge and an increase in his sneak attack die. Pretty good.
So you
Yeah,
took
that's
you took the level in Rogue, is what you're saying?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
I am now a level 5 rogue.
Excellent. So you have the Uncanny Dodge and the... what was the other thing you said you got?
It's now 3d6 sneak attack damage.
Cool.
It's
Awesome.
a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage. That's how that's how Arcadi has been dealing those massive singular strikes.
Those fattest tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really doesn't understand why tall people have so much trouble with this.
Yeah. It's basically the aiming part, right? It's like it's not that you're necessarily stronger, it's just like, you know, hit him in the right place is what really matters.
It's all about hitting the weak points for massive damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, congratulations to those people. The others, I'm sure, will not be far behind. Maybe 1 or 2 sessions. Yes.
Can we roll hit die?
Yes, totally can. You can choose to take the average if you want, or you can choose to roll. You, however, have rolled the maximum.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's the first time ever for Chester, by the way. His max HP is now 40 with that
Nice.
at level 8.
Bless.
Farron sits over here. Farron, your current health is what his maximum used to be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, to think you're all slowly approaching what Raka was at level 6.
Mm-hmm. Barbarians are good. So, Vi, are you taking average, or are you going to roll for it? Now, understanding that a character with -2 bonus in Constitution, you always will get 1. So it might almost be better for you to roll.
I'm gonna roll. I've rolled all the way up to this point. So there's no reason not to.
Yeah, let's see it. Cool.
Yep, that's about right.
You get 1 health.
One.
Wait, I thought you only had -1. That's -2.
No, she's had
No, it's
-2 the
-2.
whole
I've had
time.
-2 my whole time.
Oh my god, what are you? Are you just like a stick figure? Is Vi a mop with a wig?
Listen, there is a reason why Vi has taken all of the spells literally to make her invisible and avoid combat.
I know, it's fantastic. I just feel so bad for her, and I'm worried that I might have broken her when we shook hands.
Yeah, no. Vi's stats are not anything to write home about, considering she has 2 -2s.
Yep. And that's even after I fixed my charisma.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. So yeah. It's okay. She's still one of the most effective players in the group, right? She's got... you guys... there would be more people that would be dead, I think, if Vi was not present.
Agreed. Chester would be one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think pretty much anybody who's received healing in this campaign.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, not me.
Poor Farron. Never gets any credit.
Oh, you did heal me, yeah.
Farron
Did
over
you?
here. His chest kind of itches from where he was gashed open that one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Farron would be like, very dead, I think. If Vi hadn't healed him that one time, probably.
Yeah, because I wasn't coming to help you.
Yeah. It would have been hard to to stabilize the gaping chest wound inside of Farron.
Yeah, Hannibal doesn't help Cranes.
Ha. Wrong game.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Megan, I know what's wrong with the stream, and I'll fix it on the hour, just to keep the VOD intact. So, moving on, though, you guys... Hannibal, so you're going to go down and, like, collect the priest. What is everybody else doing in the immediate aftermath? Marilla is probably doing the Marilla thing where she walks around and makes sure everybody's okay. But everybody else, what do you guys... Is, like, you guys just going to immediately go back to the bottom of the boat and go back to sleep? Or, like, is there anything that anybody wants to do?
Chester is very adamantly watching the water.
Are you still over, like, outside of the boat, Chester, or have you gone back to the boat by now?
I go back before we leave.
You do know where I dived, right?
Yeah, I see you.
No. I'm talking to Chester.
Well, Chester can see everything. He's got 120 feet of dark vision, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see, like, over here.
Yeah. Chester can see pretty much everything. So yeah, so you're kind of like taking up a lookout position, like off of the boat, so that if anything comes and ambushes the boat, you can be ready.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Farron?
I am going to do a buttload of healing.
Okay. You're gonna burn some spell slots on healing everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So heal myself.
Hey, you can roll double digits outside of combat. That's good.
I know, it's great. Heal Mirella.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I actually do really good.
That's pretty amazing.
And
Yeah.
heal Arkady.
Whoa.
So just for reference for you, Jackson, his heals. He did roll a 10 once, but then his other heal was a. Let's see here. Scroll through the chat.
Like a 4.
There was like a 4 and a 7. They were all really bad.
As level 3 spells, by the way.
You said that you used Hex. You
Yeah.
do realize I have an Eldritch Blast with Hex.
Oh, that's fine. What are you
Toad's okay.
talking about?
Look at my character sheet.
Totes okay, man.
Look under
It's fine.
spells.
It doesn't matter at this point, right? Like, that means literally nothing.
Like, it's up near the bottom.
Okay,
Like,
cool.
Totes good, bro. Totes good.
Just in case you ever need to take control of it again.
Okay. So, Arkady, you got the 12 health, by the way. So Farron, like, are you talking while you're doing this, or are you just like, you know, is this kind of like a practice? Here, come here, let me heal up your wounds.
Yeah, certainly when it comes to Mirella, it's my lady. Yes, just let me heal you, and I'll be on my way.
Yeah, and I think there's like, you know, thank you, Farron. You're a good friend.
Friend zone.
Friend zone hard.
Oh my god, the friend zone is real. Okay, cool. Arkady or Vi, are you guys doing anything? Farron, were you the one that healed Carter? I think you were, right?
The captain dude?
No, the guy that they drug up on the boat, or was that Vi? I forget.
Oh yeah, I threw a.
Yeah, I thought it was you that like threw a healing word on him to get him back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It was his turn to heal a person on a boat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No.
Well, it seems I'm the only one that does healing around here.
Maybe
so...
maybe he'll get a poem too.
I was gonna say, is he gonna get a poem too? I hope so.
Maybe he could use one right
yeah,
now.
all my rejected feelings are now projected onto this random NPC.
Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll love me. I'm sorry.
What? Vi, are you gonna do anything?
I think I would maybe, I don't know, walk over to Petrov and say something along the lines of, well, I guess it turns out Lost Her Marble Shades didn't tell us wrong. Apparently there are a pretty big problem down this river.
Yes, I spoke to Captain earlier about potential ambush problems. He seemed unconcerned. I am trying to decide how best to break him verbally.
I mean, I told you so might work? I don't know.
Is lacking in poetry, but point gets across. In middle of night might suffice.
Possibly, you know, give him a few minutes. His friend did almost die.
And one of his friends did die.
Yeah, we did lose somebody, didn't we?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
I mean,
one of yours men actually.
I'm not primarily aiming for the "I told you so" part. It's more the "so what are we going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again?" But again, this might not be the ideal time to talk.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Are these lizardmen like dragonborn or just lizardmen?
Dragonborn don't exist here. I don't know what that is.
Okay. There's a thing called lizardmen.
Are
and there's
you?
a thing.
Yeah. So here's the deal: the two that are dead. So for those of you that don't know about lizardmen, there are two distinct species of lizardmen.
Thank you.
There are skinks and there are saurus. The skinks are the dexterous, smaller, like more diminutive sized lizardmen, and then the saurus are the larger, more muscular, generally like the hardier warrior type lizardmen.
And the source is what the player
Almost primarily, any spellcasters that exist in the lizardman ranks are skinks. There are very few accounts of saurus having arcane magic or any type of magic at all. Almost 100% they are skinks. The saurus are almost primarily the warriors, like the warrior castes of the of this society. So what is here currently is this guy down here is a big old saurus warrior, and this guy here is a skink priest.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
wearing,
taking
like,
him.
robes and stuff. Okay, so you get him like back up on the boat, I guess.
All right.
Like you get some help, I would assume. Someone's gonna have to like drag him up there.
Yeah, and then I yell to Arkady, Arkady, get the knife!
What in the world could you... Oh.
I'm kidding this time. And then I'm searching him. Or, wait, what is he wearing exactly?
He's wearing like, you know what a key is? Like the kind of monk uniform where it's...
yeah, a gi.
Yeah, gi. Yeah, where it's like tight-fitting, or it's like... Not tight-fitting, it's unrestricted loose clothing. Like, non-restrictive loose clothing.
It's like it's billowy up top, and it's like an hourglass looking thing.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
Can I try to identify if he's a priest, what kind of religion it is?
It's a lizardman. They all worship the old ones. 100%.
Oh, okay.
All of them. Yeah, without a doubt, any lizardman who casts spells worships the old ones. There's not a whole lot of arcane magic that exists in the lizardman society. If it is, it's really rare.
Can I try to specifically find out which one?
They worship all of the old ones that exist.
Okay, sorry.
Like, equally. Like, he wouldn't have, like, a... Like, if he's using, like, a focus or something, roll me an investigation check. Yes, they are 100% like Aztecs. Yeah, you don't see his his focus on him. It looks like he might have been using spell components, like a spell component pouch. So he's got like probably like a pouch that has like a bunch of like different things. There's probably one that has like a little vial of water, and then a component that has like a looks like a chicken's foot. Yeah, kind of. It's kind of seen as more like hedge wizardy to use spell components in this universe. Most people just use focuses because it's more convenient. So either when you use spell components, it's either because you don't have access to a focus, or because like that's just the type of magic you were like how you were taught to do it, as opposed to having to channel through a focus.
Okay, is there anything else this guy has on him?
He had like a gnarled staff that was probably like floating next to him. That was clearly like his weapon. But it doesn't seem to be anything significant.
Okay, so other than that, he's got nothing.
Yeah.
I throw him overboard.
Okay, yeah, you toss him overboard and he floats down and bumps into his buddy.
Straight. Alright, yeah, I'm done.
Okay, cool. So Arcady, did you want to have the I think that the captain is like, after seeing that Carter is okay, you see him like pull out a flask and like hand it to Carter, and Carter like takes a swig, like he's holding his head up, he takes a swig and he like coughs, and the captain laughs a little bit, he chuckles, and he takes a swig of the flask and he corks it back up and puts it back down. And if you wanted to have that conversation, maybe this is the time.
Well, are we? Sorry, does the ship keep moving at night, or were we?
No,
like,
remember,
anchored?
you guys are anchored up because there was the whole there might be a storm blowing in. Let's find a safe place to moor up. So you guys are currently like anchored up, not moving.
Yeah, right. Okay. So yeah, Arcady will approach him and ask. So does this mean we should keep moving, or do you assume they will not return? Because I feel they might return with larger numbers.
He goes, I think that it would be wise if we kept on rowing, but I'm down a rower. Ullman, and he sweeps his hat off again in a flourish and puts it over his chest. He goes, may rest in peace, feeding the fishes. I'll need to ask one of you all to help me out, at least guide me. I can do the oars myself, but I'll need someone to stay awake to lead us down the path. It's more dangerous, but he kind of like, he looks back towards like the west again, where like he indicated like there's a storm brewing from that direction. He looks back to the west and he says, no storm's worth getting a lizardman's spear through your gut.
I can stay up.
Yes, I believe we will not have difficulty finding guide or absurdly strong person to row.
He goes, it'll do my body good to do some rowing. I'll just need someone to steer and make sure we don't hit any rocks.
Dibs.
Well, it's either you or Chester, and I do not trust Chester, so yes. Your dibs are uncontested.
I think like he counts you guys and he's like, Chester's the one with the... Oh, you don't have a hat anymore, do you?
I don't.
He's like, hi, Chester's the one with the crossbow. Where did you see where he's at? He didn't by chance fall overboard, did he?
No, we are generally not that lucky.
he kind of chuckles knowingly, like he thinks you're making a joke about like because I'm like
30% joking.
Right, like, but I've alluded to the fact that these are probably former pirates, and like that's the way that they talk about crewmates that they particularly like or are endeared to, right? So he kind of thinks that is what you're going for, right? So he probably laughs and like pats you on the back of the. He probably like pats you on the back of the shoulder, sends you like maybe like stumbling a couple steps, and he's like, yes, we all have a good laugh. Anyway, we should find him and be on our way.
Yes, Vi is Vi still present, or has she disappeared again?
No, I would still be there.
I assume
had disappeared too.
You would have better chance of finding Chester than anybody else.
Already on it.
So do you just like, hey Chester, it's okay to get back on the boat now. We're leaving.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Not even using sense. Hey! I'm literally just yelling off the boat.
Yeah. So
It
Chester,
sounds like I'm not the only one with the dick.
I'm here, guys. I'm coming. And he hops back on the boat.
So you jump back on the boat. Okay. Yeah, and you guys pull up anchor, and the captain gets at like the oar mount, or it's actually poles now, right? Like they're pushing along with the poles, and so they begin to like pull their way down the river, and you're going upriver, but the river doesn't flow very swiftly in this area because it's not like there isn't a whole lot of like flow, so it's more still and calm than anything. But everybody's probably a little bit on edge. Oh, he's there, Hannibal. He assisted in some manner, I think, during the fight. But you can talk to him if you wanted to.
At some point, probably as quickly as possible, Petrov will also insinuate himself into Morella's space to suggest that she might want to take the opportunity to work out some stress on the poles.
Okay.
Yeah. So, hello. And when you ask that Petrov, she just kind of like maybe like looks at Farron, raises an eyebrow, and gives like a small smirk. She's like, "Sure, I'll work the poles."
You're a terrible person. Well done.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe you, because like, so the other deal is like Carter is like probably trying real hard, but he was also basically dead just a moment ago. So he's probably like flagging a lot, and you can hear the captain like probably shouting at him from across the boat every now and then, like, "You got to push more on your side. We're gonna run aground if you don't pick it up, Carter." And he's like, "Aye, Captain, aye." And he's like, big gash wound and like clearly like pale and weak from the exertion.
The captain says this, right?
I mean, yeah. The captain don't give a fuck.
Okay. So like the captain is pretty badly injured. Still.
The captain is injured, yes. Not terribly so. Like he's able to fully function currently. But he wouldn't be able to stand probably another fight like that. But his personality would not allow him to seem weak in any way.
Mm-hmm.
He's very much like Morella in that manner.
Yeah. Alright.
So yeah, maybe you take over for Carter for a bit and, help assist and pull down the river. That's P-O-L-E, by the way, pull down the river. So let's take a look at the map again and find out where we're at and where we're going. So you guys, when all of this occurred, you guys were currently on the River Aver, in between Krobach and Streisand. You guys were on your way to the Mulberg Ruins over in west and central Stirland, but you were accosted by these lizardmen in between Krobach and Streisand. And so Streisand is a fairly large town in Averland, and it's also one of the first towns you're going to encounter that is not part of the Empire. It is actually part of Averland, which is isn't considered to be part of the Empire. And so it's kind of like the first stop like the first like central trading hub that exists in Averland. Now, a little bit further down the river, perhaps 2 or 3 more days, is Averheim. And Averheim is the capital of Averland on the River Aver. Again, these people are not creative with their naming of places. And that is like the main central hub. It's not quite as grand as the other cities in the Empire, Nuln or Middenheim, but it serves its purpose, and it is the capital of the city, and it contains the the Lord of Averland and all of his appropriated vassals. So it will take you guys like the rest of the night and then probably most of the next day to get to Streisand. So that means that I need somebody to roll me an encounters table. And I think I think whoever didn't roll last week, which I forget who I made roll. Whose fault was this one again? I think it was Will's, wasn't it?
It was not mine.
I thought it was mine.
fault.
Oh,
No,
it was mine? Cool.
Yes, it was the lucky one.
Yeah, it was Vi's fault.
It was my fault, guys.
Yep.
I haven't rolled yet.
Okay. Well, obviously you weren't here last week, so that would make sense.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah,
No.
let's do it. Let's see it.
All right.
Hit us.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Holy
Jesus.
shit.
So we all level up?
Okay, the fact is that he almost rolled max on every single fucking die. Is
We don't know what any of
astonishing.
that means.
No, I'm just astonished that he almost got max on every
Is there
single
an
fucking
achievement
die.
of some sort? Is there
Can
an
I-
achievement for the
I feel like
will?
this just did like Sharknado.
Can I get the experience of an entire session for getting that?
No.
Nope.
But I think that I'm going to use that one to make something occur, perhaps not immediately in your vicinity, but something good will occur somewhere else in the realm that you will encounter later. You are going to hinder the machinations of some individuals, kind of vicariously through other individuals, and you'll see the work of that later on, because that is a great role, and I will award that appropriately. But it's hard to do that when you guys are in the middle of a boat, or on a boat in the middle of the river, basically not in the Empire. But I will make note of that. And
I caused a wave that made a butterfly move that landed on a
Right, yeah.
horse.
It's that, like, and you're steering, right? So, like, maybe, like,
Yeah.
we get this moment of, like, there's, like, a butterfly that, like, lands on your hand, and you like, look at it, and then you, like, release it into the air, and it flies, and gets
And then
eaten
it
by
goes-
a fish, and then that fish swims downstream and gets speared by a fisherman, and then it poisons somebody. Who knows? Yeah, no, it's something good will occur that you guys will encounter soon, but I can't do something that good immediately as you guys are on the boat. So over the course of the next day, and I'm gonna go ahead and advance our little thing here.
So we're all rested.
Everybody has well, no. I mean, so that's the deal, right? Like, none of you got a long rest.
Would I have gotten a short rest?
No, short rest. You're steering. You're actively doing things.
Okay.
Yeah, no. If you're actively doing something, you would not have gotten a short rest.
Alright.
But you guys all arrive after your journey in the city of Streisand, and upon your arrival in the city of Streisand, it is like early afternoon, or late afternoon, probably late afternoon, early evening. You guys arrive in Streisand, and Streisand is, as I described it, a trade hub. So you begin to see the river kind of widens a little bit, and it's wide enough now that, like, multiple ships can kind of pass to and from. And so you begin to see, like, a lot of different ships and different, like, barges and stuff. Some are, there's, most of you know this, at least from geography lessons if you paid attention, that the River Landmere, the entrance of River Landmere, is very close to Streisand. And so that's kind of how a lot of, like, the foothills in the west and central Stirland get their goods. So it's kind of at, like, the meeting point of these two locations. And as you guys arrive in Streisand, there's kind of the hustle and bustle of a trade hub. Very much kind of opposite of the experience that you've had the previous night, and then also in Nuln, where everything kind of went to shit real fast. This is showing us that, you know, things are still happening normally in other parts of the world. Right. So the captain, you know, brings the ship to bear, and you guys dock up. And he probably looks at you, Petrov, since you've kind of been the mouthpiece here, and he says, I will be staying here at least the night. I need to hire at least one more crewman, maybe a couple of other guards. It's not that I don't appreciate you fighting folk coming on my ship, but I'll need to make it back to Nuln eventually.
Yes, well, this is you know the sailing of these rivers far better than I. I am sure we can accommodate ourselves without difficulty.
He's like, yes, we'll be leaving in the morn if that's all right with you and your people.
I can only assume so. I have not spoken with them, but this is only minor setback.
He goes, I'll leave Carter on the ship if anything goes amiss, or you need some more time. You're our charges as it is. Just
Isn't
let him
Carter
know.
the one horribly mangled?
Yeah, he got hurt, like, a lot. He basically got knocked unconscious, and, like, what happened to him is he's the one who, he was standing at the railing, and then the arrows blossomed from his chest, and then he fell into the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had, like, 2, like, very bad arrow wounds in his abdomen, but Farron healed those up fairly quickly. Like, none of them were, like, serious enough wounds that it was going to require more than what Farron had to give.
Man, that's his rhymes.
Yeah, exactly.
You get healing. Everybody gets the healing.
It's like the Oprah Winfrey of healing.
I'm still not looking too great, by the way, there.
You're fine.
Suffer, you blood of house.
Right. So, essentially what he's telling you is, like, you know, he's going to need some time. He's got to go hire another oarsman, and he mentioned the fact that he may want to hire a couple of guards, because clearly the river isn't as safe as he was assuming. But whether or not that happens here is going to be determined somewhere else. But he's giving you guys basically the word that we'll be staying here for the night and then pick it up again in the morning.
There.
So hey, if there's anything you want to buy, then hint, this is a trade town.
Yes, this is a trade town. Would definitely have pretty much everything you could want. But also along your stop is going to be Averheim, which is going to have probably the best option for, like, other goods and services and stuff. For those of you that may not, I think everybody would know this, but I'll just let you know now. Averland is known primarily for their trade in horses. They actually supply most of the Empire's cavalry with their horse lands. So
Rohan.
Yeah, basically, that's a good way to, like, kind of describe it. There's also a good way to kind of describe the territory that they live in. There are a few woods kind of sparsely populated throughout. There's a couple marshes in their lands, but primarily it's all kind of grassy plains, with some elevation and some not elevation. But yeah, that's generally what they're looking at here. And again, their primary trade is horses. They do a lot of business with the knightly orders of the Empire, with the Empire itself, involving, you know, horse trades. There's always a kind of a big rivalry between them and Bretonnia as to who has like the best cavalry, but it's kind of like comparing medieval like England with their cavalry to, like, the horse riders of the Middle East, who ride on horseback and shoot bows and are lightly armored, versus, like, the cavalry of Bretonnia, who's very much plate armored horses, lances.
Shock cavalry versus.
Yeah, so it's a very different, like, they like to say they're the best, but also they probably couldn't do what Bretonnia could do, but also Bretonnia probably can't do what they can do, so there's always that little aspect going on. They're very good at the light cavalry option, I guess I should mention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do you guys do? Are you guys gonna go find an inn to shack up in for the rest of the evening?
I would like to actually go sell some stuff.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's something you could totally do here. Definitely have some time before the marketplace closes.
Yeah, can I sell my crossbow, my bolts, and 2 daggers?
Yeah, sure. You get 50% of the cost of those items.
Sweet.
Chester would like to see if there's any like magic guilds around.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Are you gonna like just kind of go by yourself and look for these, or are you gonna bring anybody with you? What are you gonna do with it?
I want to see if Farron would go with me.
Okay. So how does that conversation go?
Probably just walk up to Farron very somberly after another boat ride, and say, Farron, would you mind accompanying me for a little bit? I need a buddy, and I don't know. This is a bit awkward. Can you just come with me for like 2 hours?
Well, I suppose somebody's got to keep you out of trouble, eh?
Perfect.
Yeah, sure. Put it that way.
Once again, the rogue and bard go off on an adventure.
Yeah. Cool. So what about everybody else? Is anybody else plans while they're here? Nothing? Okay.
I just gotta sell my shit, and yeah.
So, to answer your question, Jackson.
I found it.
Oh, okay. You found it? Cool. Awesome. I was opening my book. Man, I really need to send this back to Wizards and get it rebound. Like, all of the pages just come out of the book now.
Can you just send it to them and do that?
Yeah, no, they it's the first edition printing, which had bad binding, and they like acknowledge that, so they allow you to just send it to them for free and get a new one. Cool. So the rest of you head off, and one of the inns that probably looks the most accommodating for you guys is called the Simple River Inn. It's kind of a quaint little place, clearly designed for, you know, travelers coming through, merchants and that kind of thing. So the rest of you who aren't going to do something specific, or if maybe you do have something specific, you let me know. But you guys head off to the Simple River Inn, and when you arrive, there is somewhat of a commotion going on inside of the bar. You can see there are two individuals who are kind of arguing. They've kind of like squared off against each other, like right in the front. And you can see like the innkeeper has like approached them, and he's like talking to them, like trying to like quell it down. But you guys have kind of entered like an argument in progress. Okay, so Morella, would you go with Hannibal then to do that?
Morella would go off on her own.
Okay, all right, cool, awesome. So in the people who are arriving, it's probably Petrov and Vi and wait, that's it, just Petrov and Vi.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's just us.
So yeah, so Petrov and Vi, you guys enter into this scene where there's kind of this like argument mid-process, and the innkeeper is like, he looks to be diffusing the situation, but mostly he looks to be just getting him the hell out of his inn, so he doesn't have to explain bloodstains. And so would either of you like interact with that scene at all, or would you like try and remove yourself from it and stay as far away as possible?
Sorry, what do you mean he's trying to remove himself?
So he's essentially attempting to get them to leave, right? Like he's like, listen, you know, you can overhear some of the conversation probably. He's like, listen, you know, take your fight outside. Like we don't want any bad blood in here. So he's not really like diffusing the situation. He's just telling him to take it to a different place so that he doesn't have to clean blood out of his floor. But as far as like what the two guys are arguing about, you don't really know. You missed like the first half, right?
Are these just common guys, or how are they dressed?
One of them is dressed. He looks clearly very much like a merchant. He's kind of got the kind of the lace around his sleeves, and like he's dressed quite finely. And I think the biggest thing that stands out to him is he is dressed. He has just a patchwork of colors on him. Bright reds and deep blues, and there's yellows and greens. Like he looks almost like a circus clown, like with all of the different colors and stuff going on. But I think that both of you kind of recognize the style without even needing to make a roll. He's very clearly clearly a merchant from Marienburg. Marienburg is a city that is located far to the north and west of where you are currently located, and they are basically the commerce capital of the world. They're not technically part of the empire. They exist as kind of their own city-state, and they deal in trade that basically supplies the entire empire with all of their goods and services. Everybody there is generally very rich, and everybody there generally talks with their coins more than they talk with their mouths. And so he's a bit out of place. But the way that they do with like their clothing, and why I described it like that, is generally like the more brighter colors you wear and the fancier you look kind of is your status symbol in Marienburg. They're all very kind of ostentatious about that kind of thing. The other individual appears to be probably a local, maybe like a horse trader, or, you know, maybe a farrier or something. Appears to be local, maybe not of the same class as the merchant is, but he looks the most offended, I think, of the two of them. So if you roll me some insight checks, I can give you some more information about what you can infer, at least from the initial situation. Okay, we got an 8. Vi, with that improved wisdom.
I know, right? Jeez, that sucks.
That's okay. Petrov's really good at reading situations. So Petrov, it very clearly looks like a situation where the local was insulted in some way, and the guy from Marienburg is kind of like doing the haughty, like, I put my nose up to you, and, you know, I'm not gonna take it back or apologize. But as far as like what initially started it, who knows? But that's kind of the general situation I think that you feel the tension coming off of.
Okay. Arcady looks to Vi to see how she feels about the potential of bloodshed in their immediate vicinity.
I think Vi would look back at you and say, so Arcady, do you feel like possibly stretching your diplomacy muscles a little?
Yeah, I suppose it would be reasonable to involve ourselves in spite of all other factors, yes.
But it's already like walking away from you towards the two gentlemen.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, he follows, obviously.
Okay.
But, yeah. I mean, at the moment, I know we're not in combat, but you know how halflings can hide behind any creature larger than them?
Yeah, sure. Sure, you're doing the remain unnoticed feat that all halflings possess. Cool. So, as you approach, I think that you guys, like, can hear kind of over the clamor of other things going on. You hear that the local guy, he probably looks at the innkeeper and says, "Why don't you just throw him out of the bar? He's not fit to be in here." And the innkeeper says, "Listen, he pays good coin. He's allowed to rest at my inn. I will not take sides in this matter. If you have differences, settle them outside of here." And he's like, "But his coin is blood money." And at this point, the Marienburg merchant, he kind of looks a little bit like hurt. He just like the me. Are you talking about me symbol, like with his hand, like pointing, like kind of pointing to himself generally. He's like, "Why, I never. It's not in my nature to take blood money. I just simply said that if my coin is not good enough for you, then I will take it somewhere else." And the local guy, he probably looks, he's like, "Well, I'm not staying here for another minute with this cretin. And I'll be sure that none of my friends come back to this tavern ever again." And he begins to like kind of puff his chest out a little bit, and you guys enter the scene. Do you want to say anything at this point?
Vi, you're on point.
I think that I would walk up behind the innkeeper,
Sure.
and I would just say something along the lines of, I mean, gentlemen, isn't coin good anywhere?
Yeah, and I think before like either of the local guys can answer, the guy from Marienburg, he's like, don't you see, this woman has the right of it. Coin is good anywhere, especially at places more reputable than your lousy shop. And you hear the guy, he spits back, and like he's angry now, so he's kind of like frothing a little bit, and like he spits as he speaks, and he says, but I did work for you already, and you refuse to pay me what I'm earned. And the Marienburg guy, he looks and he's like, that's the cost of doing business, my friend. If you do not do the job completely as it is asked, you will not receive full payment.
I was totally interjecting herself here, so she's gonna do the like stand behind the one guy when he's speaking and be like, yeah, exactly, and then stand behind the other guy while he's speaking and be like, well, I mean, he has a point, that sort of thing, back and forth.
Sure, so you're not
Fantastic.
you're not really like taking sides. You're kind
No.
You're not helping the situation at all.
right. So you're doing the very clear not helping thing.
Devil's advocate, one would say.
Yeah, Arkady is so excited about this. This is exactly what he was afraid of.
Right? Yeah, that's exactly what you didn't want to happen, Arkady. Do you speak up at any point, or do you just kind of lay back and see what's going on?
How long would I have to listen to them before Arkady will be able to mimic the sort of southern-sounding guy's accent effectively?
Doesn't it say that they're like you have to listen to them for a certain amount of time? Or you just like
I forget I forget how long it is.
Are you talking about what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the mastermind feature.
Yeah. I think it is a minute. I think that is correct.
For what?
Alright, so have I been listening long enough to make an attempt, or do I need to wait?
Yeah. Additionally, you can unerringly mimic the speech patterns of an accent of a creature you can hear and speak for at least 1 minute. Yeah, I think that yeah, between like them arguing, you could mimic his speech by this point. Yeah, sure.
Alright, so Arkady will at this point interject himself, striding in a somewhat more pompous fashion than usual, although not as over-the-top haughty as the offended one here, and try something along the lines of, now what's this blood money I've been hearing about? Because it seems to me that that's a fairly severe accusation for anybody to be making.
Did you just go Texan?
Yeah, it's fine.
I did my best.
That would be accurate. It is more southern-sounding place. And I think, yeah, he kind of like looks at you and he's like, see? Even the fine young halfling agrees with me. I'm not quite sure what you are talking about, sir. If you do not do the work that is provided for you, then it will not be paid for. And as far as my money being bloody, you say, it is simple. Gold is gold, regardless of where it's come from. I do not steal from the pockets of my betters or my lessers. I simply...
Well, now, I think this is a situation where I'd like to hear from the other side on exactly how they define blood money.
Yeah, so I think the guy says, he's like, well, seeing as you're another one of them, this man right here, and he does like the pointing thing, and the guy kind of like, you know, waves his hand like away. He's like, this man right here, he took the money straight out of my pockets. He asked me if he could use my materials, and I toiled and toiled over what I made for him, the horseshoes for his cart, and he said that they were inferior make and was only going to pay me half, but I had already placed them on his horses. How am I supposed to get my money back? It's my work, my sweat, my effort went into that.
Well, now, on the one hand, generally speaking, when I hear someone talk about blood money, I assume it involves murder, slavery, you know, one of them things, and not shortchanging a horseshoer. But on the other hand, and here Arkady turns on the other guy, I would also hate to think that anyone from my esteemed hometown would be so ill-representing us as to fail to fill in a bargain as they had originally agreed.
Okay, so you're preying upon the guy from Marienburg's, like, sense of
pride,
sense
duty.
of pride, duty to show as Marienberger should, being a good merchant.
While Petrov is like monologuing here, Vi is watching the peacock-looking guy very closely, and she wants to figure out exactly where his presumably large pouch of money is on his.
Yeah, cool.
So glad I can help you out on this.
No problem. You're helping
I
a lot.
get a cut.
Just keep monologuing, Chief.
Right. So here's the deal with the people from Marienburg, because they are so ostensibly rich and have a lot of gold jangling around. They're no stranger to the
pickpocket
dangers of a cut purse.
Yeah.
But I think you were able to determine that the pouch of money he is carrying on him currently resides underneath his. So he's got like the tunic, right? That's kind of a little bit like that's got like a belt around it, and then part of the tunic like is through the belt, and it's behind, or it's it's like in the small of his back, but it's also covered up by like the tunic, and you could probably see you can only see that there's like a bulge there, right? You can't like necessarily see that it's there, but this also means that any interference with it is going to be much harder than would be normal.
Okay. Continue.
But yeah, that's where it's located.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that so back to Arkady. So if you're attempting to like prey on his sense of duty here, I think it's going to require a roll. Let's make it a persuasion roll, I think, based on charisma. It's 14. I think a 14 is good enough for this one. So I think that he looks at you and he kind of has the fake offended look, and he's like, well, I never. Listen, friend, perhaps I will buy you a drink after this, but you are correct. I did agree to a service, and this fine gentleman has expressed his concern. How about this, fine sir? If you can provide me with the leftover materials, I will pay you in full, so that I may take at least those and go have them made by someone of your better. And the guy kind of like, he looks like flustered, but like you can see him like doing the calculations in his head, but it's clear like, you know, it's kind of hard for him to do that. And I think eventually he probably says, well, fine, as long as you pay what you agreed upon. I can't use that scrap anyway. And he kind of like extends his hand, and you see that the guy, he reaches him back and he pulls out a pouch, and he very delicately like pulls out this gold, like very slowly, and then a few silver pieces, and then a few copper pieces, and he places it in his hand. He's like, I'll expect delivery of all of the materials to my wagon post haste, sir. I can't stand to be in this town any longer than I am right now.
Now, I think we can all agree that was more satisfying and profitable all around than blood and teeth on the streets.
Yeah, and I think that he does kind of like a flourishing bow, and he's like, it was a pleasure doing business with you, and for you, my friend.
Does that leave his
yes, that's what I was just gonna say. If he bows over and I'm to his, okay, perfect.
Yes, it does.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Okay. So are you going to attempt to sleight of hand pickpocket this gentleman? Mm-hmm. Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Do I count as assisting, or did I just make it possible?
Sure. Roll at advantage. Yeah, point. you guys tag team this. Roll at advantage. That's fine.
Okay.
Go on.
Yeah, 20. A 20 will totally get it. So, Vi, you're able to, so my question is, are you leaving his pouch there and just, like, are you actually cut pursing, right? Like, cut it, like, because that term is used when you cut the bottom of the bag, let it fall into your hands, and then you run away, right? Like, that's where the term came from. Or are you just, like, simply, brushing up against him, grabbing a handful of coins, and then leaving?
No, I'm taking all of it.
Or are you cutting the string of the purse and taking the whole purse?
Yeah, so are you taking the whole purse?
I am cutting... Here, I'll be specific. I'm cutting open the bottom of the purse, which is probably all I can see. I mean, when he bends over, it's not going to be like the complete thing, I would imagine.
Right, yeah.
So I probably just see the bottom of it. So I'd slit a little, like, cut in the bottom of it and wait till literally all of his money is in my hand. And then sleight of hand it up.
Yeah, so
of my shirt.
Sure, yeah, it all kind of tumbles in your hand. You're able to tuck it away in all very smooth motion. It would have taken somebody in the bar who was paying a lot of attention to see that. But yeah, no, you're able to get quite a few coins in your hand, and I will send you the exact details in just a moment. But the gentleman, he does his bow, and he's also wearing. I should have mentioned this too. He's also wearing a large hat that has like a large feather in it as well. And so he places.
Of course, he is.
He places that back on his head. It's like a deep purple velvet.
A true Southern gentleman.
He is a true Southern gentleman.
If only Chester was here.
I was just gonna say, what if I was gonna try to
he
figure
probably
out how to
has
get the hat
hats.
from him.
If you want to go find him later, he probably has hats.
Yeah.
Many hats.
Yeah, it all depends on what he's pushing, right? Like what he's selling. Anyway, he does the flourishing bow. You cut his purse. He places the hat back on his head, and he says, "Well, fine then. I'll be off." And he departs. And you can see that when he leaves, there's these two very large-looking gentlemen who like stand up from a table and follow him out. They clearly are bodyguards of some sort.
Apparently very bad ones, but that's okay.
So congratulations to the two of you. You've got some more money now. Whisper vibe.
Good. Now I don't have to bother my embassy again.
Hey, did you get my message?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
And you could tell Arkady how much of that he actually gets.
Say what now?
I whispered to Vi how much she stole from that guy. Give me 1 second.